Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare. Radha Krishna Jaya Radha Krishna Radha Krishna Jaya Lalita Vishaka. Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva. Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadamaya. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Prabhupada. Vishva Paramahansa Bhavaraja Gacharya Sada Sisabit A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namacharya Das Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Sukha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Govida Shama Radha Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Sri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Shamana Tulsi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Samavetta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Go Premanandi. All glories to the Sam of the devotees. All glories to the Sam of the devotees. All glories to the Sam of the devotees. All glories to Sri Guru Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Next darshan till 8:30 will be the Aarti. Devotees can please be seated for the Bhagavatam class. Next Aarti will be 8:30.
Yasoda Nandana Rajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Prabhupada, 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 Jaya, Prabhupada, Jaya. Ramacharya Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem Sagaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopida Shyam Kunda Radha Kudi Giri Govardhan ki jai. Sri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Navadip Dham ki jai. Gang Shamona Tulsi Bhakti Devi ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samavetta Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Gopremanandi. All glories to some of the devotees, all glories to some of the devotees, all glories to some of the devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Om Vishnu Banaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prachadane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatchade Shatarane Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sri Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 36, verse 16. Arista nihate daitye Krishnain adbhuta karmana kamsayata ta Bhagavan Narada Deva Darshanaha. Arishta Nihate, having been killed, Daitye, the demon, Krishnena, by Krishna, Adbhuta Karmana, whose activities are wonderful, Kamsaya, to Kamsa, Ata, then, Aha, spoke, Bhagavan, the powerful sage, Narada, Deva Darshana, whose vision is godly. Translation: after Aristasura had been killed by Krishna, who acts wonderfully, Narada Muni went to speak to King Kamsa. That powerful sage of godly vision addressed the king as follows. Purport: the term Deva Darshana can be understood in many ways, all of which are consistent with the context and purport of this narration. Deva means God, and Darshana means seeing, or an audience with a great personality. Thus, Deva Darshana A name for Narada Muni indicates that Narada had attained the perfection of seeing God, that getting Narada's audience is as good as getting God's, and also that Narada's audience is as good as that of the demigods, who were also known as devas. That there are all these meanings of the term Devadarshana reveals something of the richness of the Srimad Bhagavatam's language. From the Puranas, Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur has quoted 20 verses describing a joking conversation between Radha and Krishna that took place after Krishna had killed the demon Arishta. This conversation, so kindly quoted by the Acharya, describes the origin of Radha Kund and Syama Kunda, Radha's and Krishna's bathing ponds. The verses are as follows. The innocent young gopis said, "Oh Krishna, don't touch us now, O killer of bull." Alas, even though Arista was a terrible demon, still he was a male cow, so you will have to undergo atonement, just as Lord Indra did after killing Vritrasura. But how can you purify yourself without going to the trouble of visiting every single holy place in the three worlds? Krishna replied, "Why should I have to wander throughout the entire universe? I will at once bring all the countless pilgrimage places here and take my bath in them. Just watch." With this, Lord Mukunda struck his heel on the ground. This is the water of the Bhogavati River coming down from Patala region. And now, O holy places, all of you please come here. When the Supreme Lord has spoken these words, all the holy places went there and appeared before him. Krishna then addressed the gopis as follows: "See all the holy places." But the gopis replied, "We don't see them as you describe." Then those best of holy places, joining their palms in supplication, spoke up. "I am the salt ocean. I am the milk ocean. I am the Amara Dirgika. I am the river Sona. I am the Sindhu. I am the Tamrapani. I am the holy place Pushkara. I am the river Saraswati. And we are the Godavari, Jamuna, and Reva rivers, and the confluence of the rivers at Prayag. Just see our waters." After purifying himself by bathing, Lord Hari became quite arrogant and said, "I produced a pond containing all the various holy places, whereas you gopis must never have executed any religious duties on this earth for the pleasure of Lord Brahma." Then Srimati Radharani addressed her girlfriends as follows: "I must create an even more beautiful pond, so go to work." Having heard these words, the gopis saw that Aristasura's hoofs had dug a shallow ditch just west of Krishna's pond. At that nearby spot, all the gopis began digging up lumps of soft mud with their hands, and in this way a divine pond manifested in the short span of an hour. Krishna was astonished to see the lake they produced. He said, "Go ahead, lotus-eyed one. You and your companions should fill this pond with water from mine." But Radha replied, No. This is impossible, since the water of your pond is contaminated by your terrible sin of killing a cow. I will have my countless gopi companions bring the pure water of the Manasa Ganga here in billions of pots. In this way, I will fill this lake with my own water and thus make it renowned unequaled in the entire world. Lord Krishna then gestured to a heavenly personality who was an intimate associate of all the holy places. Suddenly that person rose up out of Krishna's pond and bowed down to the daughter of Vrishabhanu. Then, with palms folded and tears pouring from his eyes, he began praying to her in devotion. "O goddess, even Lord Brahma himself, the knower of all scriptures, cannot understand your glories, nor can Lord Shiva or Lakshmi. Only Krishna, the supreme goal of all human endeavor, can understand them, and thus he feels obliged to personally make sure that you can wash away your perseveration when you are fatigued. He is always anointing your lotus feet with the nectarian charu and yavaka and decorating them with ankle bells, and he rejoices and feels most fortunate simply by satisfying the tips or the toes of your lotus feet. On his order, we have immediately come here to live in this most excellent pond, which he created by one stroke of his heel. But only if you now feel satisfied with us and bestow upon us your merciful glance will the tree of our desire bear fruit. Hearing this prayer spoken by the representative of the full assembly of holy places, Sri Radha was pleased and said, "So, kindly tell me your desire." They then told her plainly, "Our lives would be successful if we could come to your pond. That is the benediction we desire." Glancing at her beloved from the corner of her eyes, the daughter of Rishabhanu replied with a smile, "Please come." Her gopi companions all agreed with her decision and became immersed in the ocean of happiness. Indeed, the beauty of all creatures, both mobile and stationary, was enhanced. Thus, gaining the grace of Srimati Radharani, the holy rivers and lakes of Sri Krishna Kund forcibly broke through its boundary walls and swiftly filled Radha Kund with their waters. Lord Hari then said, "My dear Radha, may this pond of yours become even more world-renowned than mine. I will always come here to bathe and to enjoy my water pastimes. Indeed, this lake is as dear to me as you are." Radha replied, "I will come to bathe in your pond as well, even though you may kill hundreds of Arishta demons here. In the future, anyone who has intense devotion for this lake, which is on the spot where you chastise Aristasura, and who bathes or resides here, is sure to become very dear to me." That night, Krishna initiated a rasa dance at Radha Kund, generating a torrent of the greatest mood of splendorous pleasure. Sri Krishna resembled a cloud, and Srimati Radharani a brilliant flash of lightning, filling the sky with abundant beauty. In this way, their divine glories permeated the expanses of the three worlds. As a final note, it should be mentioned that Narada Muni, being a great sage, understood that the killing of Arishta more or less concluded the pastimes of Krishna and Vrindavan. Therefore, Narada, anxious to facilitate the transfer of Krishna's pastimes to Mathura, approached Kamsa and addressed him as follows. So here we have the conclusion of the killing of Aristasura. And this, of course, all that is related in the purport is not mentioned in the Bhagavatam, but I think it's explained in the Padma Purana and other places. So this tells how Syama Kunda and Radha Kunda manifested in this world. Actually, Krishna went away from Vrindavan, I think, in Chaitra month, which is probably April. So the killing must have taken place shortly before that, because we see that Narada Muni goes to Kamsa and tells him to send Akrura to end the pastimes, etc. So in this way we have almost the conclusion. There's only a few demons like Keshi and Vyomasura who are killed after this point. So anyway, the killing of Aristasura takes place, and we also have the here in the purport the appearance of Radha Kund and Syama Kunda. So, as I previously mentioned, Arista was had the form of a bull, and a bull is, like the cow, sacred. And to kill a bull or a cow is a great sin. So, of course, if the bull is actually a demon and not really a real bull, then there's no harm in killing that demon like Aristasura. But the gopis took this as an excuse, and they said that Krishna shouldn't touch them because he's contaminated. He has killed a bull, and therefore he has to do some penance and go to the holy places, get purification, bathe in the holy rivers, etc. So Krishna solved that problem very easily by striking his heel in the earth and making a hole, and filling it with the waters of all the sacred rivers and all the holy places. So in this way he can take bath there and purify himself. Of course, Krishna does not have to be purified, because whatever he does is, and whatever he touches, instead of him becoming contaminated, he purifies the other elements. So in other words, by killing Aristasura, he purifies Aristasura. Rather than him being contaminated, he purifies the demon. But of course, the killing of the demon itself was considered a sin only in the sense that a bull was killed, but not actually a sin, because these are normal rules of Dharma in this material world. And whatever Krishna does, though it may look like a sin, is not a sin. Whatever he does is always completely correct. So here, though he had the form of a bull, he was not acting as a bull. He didn't become a bull through pious activity at all. He assumed this form to kill the inhabitants of Vrindavan and Krishna. So he's completely opposite of being full of piety. So therefore there was no real sin in killing this demon. What is the purpose of Krishna? One purpose is to kill the demons. So this was one more demon he killed, so it cannot be considered impious at all. But the gopis take this as a pretext for avoiding Krishna. This, of course, is simply some sort of play. They go to create some artificial separation from Krishna. They will refuse to see him because he's contaminated. So out of his eagerness, Krishna solves that problem by creating this pure pond of water made up of all the holy tirthas. This illustrates, of course, Krishna's special powers. He's very, very remarkable. So the gopis also got envious, and they wanted a pond also which could compete with his pond. And they began digging and digging and digging, and then they got pots of water from Manasa Ganga to fill it up, but even then it didn't get full. So finally, they agreed that after this Devata interfered and offered prayers and glorified Radha, that they agreed that the water from Krishna's pond could enter into Radha's pond and fill it up. And then this pond became more famous even than Syama Kunda, because this was the pond of Radha. So in this way we have the appearance of Radha Kund and Syama Kunda also explained at this time. This is famous also because the pond is famous because we see that Lord Chaitanya went to Vrindavan and he wandered about the places in Vrindavan. Of course, at that time, 500 years ago, everything was more or less covered. Now we see so many temples in Vrindavan. At that time, no, they weren't there. We don't have the Radharaman temple or the Govinda temple at all. These temples were not there. But, of course, the river was there. The Jamuna River was there. Mathura was there. And the places were there, but no structures were there. So later, Lord Chaitanya gave the instruction to the Goswamis to locate the holy places, all the different tirthas. So we're familiar now with all the different places like Akura Ghat and other places, and they were actually, we can say, reestablished by the Goswamis. So that was one order that Lord Chaitanya gave. But Lord Chaitanya himself, he actually was, because he's also in the mood of Radha, he was looking for Radha Kund. And eventually he found Radha Kund. He was the one that pointed out, oh, this pond here, it was, I think, in a rice field or something, or in some field. So he said, this is actually Radha Kund. And so after that point, it was established, and they built steps down to it, etc., and whatever. So it was rediscovered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. So it became doubly famous for that reason, not only as Radha Kund, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself rediscovered it and worshipped it. So therefore it has very great renown. So it's considered one of the most sacred spots in Vrindavan. And we see in the Upadeshamrita that after describing bhakti in general and various rules of bhakti, and then sadhana bhakti and raganuga bhakti, and finally the work glorifies Vrindavan over Mathura, and in Vrindavan finally we get glorification of Radha Kund. That's the final glorification there of all the holy places. So the Upadeshamrita concludes with glorification of Radha Kund as the most sacred spot of all. So why? Because this is the particular place of Radha, established by Radha, and of course with the help of Krishna, blessed by Krishna with the water from the Syama Kund, but filled with the mood of Radha. So therefore it is said if one bathes in that water, then one will also develop that mood of Madhurya Rasa and conjugal love, etc., just through the blessings of Radha. So considered a very, very sacred spot. So this indicates that though Vrindavan is sacred, very holy, that ultimately the whole purpose of Vrindavan is to reveal Radha and Krishna. That is the ultimate goal of the place, and therefore Radha Kund is also glorified as the most holy place. So Radha Kund is glorified as the most holy place, and the pastimes of Radha and Krishna are glorified as the highest pastimes. And Madhurya Rasa between Radha and Krishna is considered the highest rasa. And that was the whole purpose of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appearing in this world, to reveal to the people of Kali Yuga the bhava of Radha, the greatness of Radha's love, and to give that, convey that to the people of Kali Yuga as their goal. So this he actually established very nicely by pointing out the place where Radha Kund manifested. So this we see through this pastime that though killing demons is, of course, it's not it's a glorification of the Lord. It ultimately resulted in manifestation of a tirtha. Killing is considered to be a sinful activity or contaminating activity at least, but here, as a result of the killing, we get a great holy place manifesting. Krishna manifested his Syama Kunda, and then Radharani manifested Radha Kunda. So though a killing took place here, the ultimate result was the most auspicious thing of all, a place where Radha and Krishna's love could be manifested within Vrindavan.
Radha Kund. Is Radha Kund what is there right now in Vrindavan?
That's the actual place.
Is it actual place?
Yeah.
So the place where Radha Kund, when we bathe, is it holier than Syama Kund? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bathed there.
Yeah, well, of course, and also even Krishna himself said this is even greater than my Kunda.
I don't know how is it correct. There's a conception like first you have to take birth in Radha Kund, then Syam Kund, then again Radha Kund. Something like that is there.
Maybe,
that,
I don't know the procedure.
They say that if you take birth Radha Kund and if you take Syam Kund, if you don't take birth Radha Kund, you are contaminated.
Oh, I see. I don't know. Well, it's not complete, probably not contaminated, but not complete, maybe. Yeah?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I am from Vrindavan. We Vrajavasis keep this rather mud as tilak but we keep this Radha Kund tilak as the Radha Kund mud as a tilak, but we ISKCON devotees follow the Chandan. Can you suggest me, should I go with the Radha Kund mud or the Chandan tilak?
What do you say?
Should I keep the Radha Kund mud as a tilak or a Chandan as a tilak, which can be suggested?
Oh, Radha Kund mud.
Yeah.
What about
Yeah.
it? It's customarily used as tilak or whatever. Babajis do that. The custom of others, of course, is just to use the Gopi Chandan. So, either way.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
What about this? There is said that on the top of Syama Kund, there is some trees are there, and these trees indicates like a Pancha Pandava. They are doing also something like that.
Said like that. I don't know if there's any scriptural basis for that, but they just have those stories. These are what we call local stories or whatever that have grown up. Maybe they have some factor or whatever, some tradition is there behind them. I don't know. Whether it's even scriptural, I don't know, but at least they're local stories.
Nowadays, Yamuna river, we don't have a real river like before. So can we replace it with Radha Kund Maharaj?
What's that?
For bathing, the Yamuna river right now is not that much of water is there in Yamuna.
Well, there's more water there than there is in Radha Kund, I think, ultimately, because it's flowing. It's still flowing. The river's still there. It may not be, maybe be contaminated or whatever, but it's still there. It's flowing all the time. Radha Kund's not that big, actually.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, but we are advised not to take bath at Radha Kund.
Well, we can take water and sprinkle it on our heads or whatever like that. Whatever, anyway.
Some people say that if you don't take bath, then what is the use of Radha Kund?
Yeah. Well, at least bathing. What does bathing mean? So, if we sprinkle the water on our head, it's considered equivalent of bathing also. So, in that way, we can respect
I
it.
think there is a defined instruction from Srila Prabhupada also regarding taking birth in Radha Kund.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that some of his our Prabhupada disciple went and started swimming there.
Yeah.
Because of this, okay, you don't have right to because you are playing there. It's not a playground.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think because of that, and he said, okay, you don't take birth Radha Kund, something like that.
Here in this text it says, the one who bathes is sure to become very dear to me. Krishna's.
Yeah, this is a scriptural statement. So yes, bathing is there, but I said we can bathe by just sprinkling water, not bathing completely in the water, because some people will say if we touch our lower feet and whatever in the water, then that's not considered very respectful to Radha Kund. So then you just sprinkle yourself with water, which is okay also.
Actually, even Govardhan, they say we should not keep our feet and climb the Govardhan hill.
Yeah.
So we go around the parikram.
Yeah.
Because Lord, the Govardhan itself is Lord, and Radha Kund is Radha itself. How our feet can be touching? That's one reason
Yeah,
Prabhupada
same
never
thing.
took bath there.
Of course, one could say the same thing about the whole of Vrindavan.
Holy river.
But Govardhan also non-different from Krishna, so then it becomes very special.
That's the reason maybe we should not go to Vrindavan. We are not pure. We become contaminated.